The story begins with a promising young boy, Park Hoon, whose father, a top South Korean doctor, is tricked into defecting to North Korea. Dr. Park Cheol is forced to perform a critical heart surgery on a high-ranking official, saving his life. But their reward? They're trapped in North Korea, and little Hoon is forced to grow up under a brutal regime, becoming a genius surgeon trained under extreme conditions. Under the suffocating grip of the North Korean government, Hoon and his father live under constant surveillance. Hoon is subjected to harsh training, forced to perform medical procedures under unimaginable pressure. His father, determined to shield him, teaches him everything he knows, molding him into a medical prodigy. But the reality of their situation grows darker when Dr. Park Cheol realizes that their escape is nearly impossible. Despite the oppressive conditions, Hoon finds light in the darkness in the form of Song Jae-hee, a warm-hearted and intelligent girl who captures his heart. Their love blossoms in secrecy, and they dream of escaping together. But just when their hopes start to feel real, their world crumbles. The North Korean government intervenes, and Jae-hee is forcefully taken away. Hoon, powerless to stop it, is left haunted by the fear that he has lost her forever. His anguish is compounded when his father is executed before his eyes, a cruel punishment for trying to protect him. Now alone, Hoon is thrown into the terrifying world of North Korean military hospitals, where lives are seen as disposable and doctors are forced to push beyond human limits. Every day is a battle for survival, but his burning desire to escape never fades. His hands become his greatest weapon, his surgical skills his only leverage. And so begins Hoon's relentless pursuit of freedom. Tragedy strikes when Jae-hee falls seriously ill. Hoon performs a risky surgery to save her, showcasing his unparalleled skill as a surgeon. However, their plans to escape to South Korea are thwarted by North Korean authorities. Jae-hee is captured, and Hoon is left heartbroken. Fast forward, Hoon finally manages to escape to South Korea, but he's alone, heartbroken, and desperate to find Jae-hee. Hoon began a new life in South Korea by initially working at small clinics. Hoon's unorthodox methods and unmatched skills drew attention. Fate leads Hoon to Myungwoo University Hospital, one of the top hospitals in South Korea. Hoon is met with skepticism. His North Korean background and unconventional style make him an outsider at Myungwoo. Here he meets Oh Soo-hyun, the daughter of the hospital's chairman, and Han Jae-jun, a highly skilled but arrogant surgeon. However, things take a dramatic turn when he sees a woman who looks exactly like Jae-hee. Her name is Han Sung-hee, a skilled anesthesiologist, and she denies knowing him. But Hoon isn't convinced. Every glance, every subtle movement reminds him of Jae-hee. His relentless pursuit of the truth leads him into the depths of a conspiracy, where powerful figures lurk in the shadows, and the line between friend and foe becomes dangerously blurred. As he struggles to unravel the mystery of Sung-hee's identity, Hoon finds himself caught in the cutthroat politics of Myungwoo Hospital. With rival doctors scheming against him and secret forces plotting his downfall, he must fight not only to save lives, but also to uncover the secrets that threaten to destroy him. The stakes have never been higher, and for Hoon, every surgery, every decision could mean the difference between life and death, not just for his patients, but for himself and the woman he loves. As Hoon settles into Myungwoo Hospital, he quickly realizes that saving lives isn't the only challenge. Hospital politics is a ruthless game where power determines who gets to operate and who gets cast aside. His arrival shakes the institution to its core, particularly threatening Han Jae-jun, a brilliant but cold-hearted surgeon with his own hidden motives. Jae-jun, fueled by revenge and ambition, sees Hoon as an obstacle in his carefully laid-out plans to take over the hospital. Park Hoon, facing another intense challenge at Myungwoo Hospital, with the hospital's surgical competition still ongoing, tensions rise as Hoon and Han Jae-jun continue to battle for supremacy in the operating room. Jae-jun, driven by his secret revenge against the hospital, remains cold and calculating, while Hoon relies on his instinct and talent to save lives. Meanwhile, Song Jae-hee, now living as Han Sung-hee, continues to play a dangerous game. While she works undercover for North Korean forces, her true feelings for Hoon begin to resurface. Hoon is still confused about her identity, torn between his lingering love for Jae-hee and the possibility that she is someone else entirely. His determination to uncover the truth only grows stronger. Dr. Oh Soo-hyun also finds herself struggling with her emotions. She has developed feelings for Hoon, but is hesitant to act on them, knowing his heart belongs to Jae-hee. At the same time, she is caught between loyalty to her father, the hospital director, and her growing realization that Jae-jun may have ulterior motives. As the drama progresses, political intrigue deepens. Prime Minister Jang Seok-ju continues to manipulate events from behind the scenes, using the hospital's competition to further his own agenda. His influence over Seung-hee is evident, and she is forced to make a heartbreaking decision regarding her mission. Park Hoon grappling with the shocking discovery that Han Seung-hee might truly be Song Jae-hee, the woman he has desperately been searching for. His emotions are in turmoil. He wants to believe she is Jae-hee, but her denial and involvement with Prime Minister Jang Seok-ju make him doubt his instincts. Meanwhile, the competition at Myungwoo Hospital intensifies as Hoon and Han Jae-jun continue their surgical rivalry. With each surgery, Jae-jun's determination to defeat Hoon and exact revenge on the hospital grows stronger. However, Dr. Oh Soo-hyun begins to see another side of Jae-jun. His thirst for revenge is making him lose sight of his duty as a doctor. At the same time, she struggles with her growing feelings for Hoon, despite knowing that his heart belongs to Jae-hee. Seung-hee, under pressure from the North Korean agents and Prime Minister Yang, is forced to play a dangerous game. She secretly tries to protect Hoon. She tells him to trust her regarding his mother. But Hoon tells her how he can trust her when he is not sure if she is really Jae-hee. In the hospital, a critical emergency arises when a VIP patient, tied to the Prime Minister's political interests, is rushed in. The pressure on the doctors escalates as Jang Seok-ju manipulates the situation to his advantage. Hoon, never one to back down from a challenge, insists on performing the surgery despite the risks involved. His boldness continues to make him a target, and the power struggles within the hospital become even more dangerous. A medical error is committed by the Department of Internal Medicine, and the son of the patient begs Dr. Jae-jun and Park Hoon to operate on his mother. The doctors are threatened by the hospital's director against performing the needed surgery to rectify the blunder. The motive of the hospital director is to prevent any lawsuit against the hospital. Dr. Jae-jun and Hoon collaborate to perform surgery on the woman. However, instead of the director punishing all the doctors involved, he shows favoritism and fire Dr. Park Hoon alone. Dr. Park Hoon threw his doctor coat into the bin. Dr. Oh Soo-hyun picks it up and keeps it safe. A patient is brought into the hospital in a critical condition, but his surgery is very expensive. The man's health forces Hoon to return to the hospital to continue with the competition. Hoon and Jae-jun are once again placed in direct competition, with both their futures at stake. On the day of the surgery, Hoon is once again forced to make a difficult decision. Should he continue playing by the hospital's rules, knowing they are being manipulated, or should he risk everything to do what he believes is right? Dr. Park Hoon decides to use a method that is out of date. During the competition, one of the doctors under the influence of the hospital director tries everything possible to make Park Hoon fail, and the evil doctor is eventually dismissed from the operating room. Soo-hyun goes against the orders of her fiancé to assist Park Hoon. Dr. Park is then forced to operate with his left hand. Both operations ended successfully. Soo-hyun starts questioning her own feelings as her admiration for Hoon grows stronger. The family of Park Hoon's patient are brainwashed to think that something went wrong during the surgery. The wife of the man then demands that Park Hoon wakes his husband up. Soo-hyun, in an attempt to save Park, Hoon tries to wake the man up and he goes into cardiac arrest. This causes an argument between Soo-hyun and Park Hoon. She confesses her feelings for Park Hoon, but he reveals to her that it was her father director Oh Jung-gyu who sent his father and himself to North Korea. In the political arena, Prime Minister Jang Seok-ju continues to manipulate the hospital for his personal gain. He pressures the hospital's director to ensure that Jae-jun wins the competition, believing that he is the best candidate to carry out his agenda. However, Hoon, with his natural brilliance and unorthodox methods, poses a serious threat to these plans. Seung-hee, who is under the manipulation of the Prime Minister, meets with the Prime Minister, Jang Seok-ju, to inform him that she will leave Hoon's surgical group under the condition that Park Hoon and his mother kept safe. Also at Myungwoo Hospital, the tension between Hoon and Han Jae-jun escalates as the surgical competition nears its final round. The upcoming surgery is critical, as it will determine who will perform the premier surgery. However, Park Hoon is nowhere to be found. Oh Soo-hyun and Professor Moon search frantically for him, but to no avail. Professor Moon decides to lead the surgery, but ends up creating a mess in the surgical room. Park Hoon arrives in time to salvage the situation before it worsens. Sung-hee tries to warn Hoon of the danger he faces now that he has completed the surgery. She tells him he should have lost the competition to ensure his safety, but Park Hoon tells her he is not scared and she shouldn't worry. Hoon then visits his sick mother and apologizes to her. However, despite his success, political interference threatens to deny him victory. Prime Minister Jang Sok-ju, who has been pulling the strings behind the hospital's operations, wants Jae-jun to win. Hospital director Oh Jun-gyu, Soo-hyun's father, also favors Jae-jun, unaware of his hidden agenda for revenge against the hospital. The results of the competition are delayed, adding to the suspense. Back at the hospital, the final surgical competition begins. Jae-jun and Hoon are both tasked with performing the same high-risk surgery, but under different conditions. Before the surgery, Dr. Park meets one of the patients, and after chatting with her and checking her files, he realized that her surgery can be postponed for her to get married with her soulmate and have kids before the procedure is done. But if she goes through with it now, she will be infertile. Dr. Park confronts Dr. Jae-jun with this information, but he refuses to back down unless Park exchanges patients with him. The entire hospital watches as they operate, knowing that this moment will determine their futures. Despite the pressure, Hoon remains focused, but an unexpected complication arises, forcing him to make a split-second decision that could either save the patient or cost him everything. A doctor who happens to be the brother of one of the patients, Kim A-young, after going through her phone, realizes that her sister's dream is to get married and have kids. He goes to Dr. Park to plead with him to exchange patients with Dr. Jae-jun to give his sister the chance to experience happiness. Dr. Park remembers that his father's last word was for him to always remember that he is a doctor. He then goes to the surgery room of Dr. Jae-jun and accepts defeat. Dr. Jae-jun is made the director of Myungwoo Hospital at the end of the competition. The director's son Sang-jin hand over confidential documents to Jae-jun. The documents happen to be a detailed account of the corruption done by Soo-hyun's father. Han Jae-jun, whose past motivations are finally being exposed, faces a turning point. Dr. Oh Soo-hyun begins piecing together his history and realizes that his deep hatred for Myungwoo Hospital stems from a personal vendetta. His real identity is Lee Sung-hoon, the son of a wrongfully treated patient who died because of the hospital. His entire career at Myungwoo has been part of an elaborate revenge plan. Soo-hyun is devastated by this revelation, feeling betrayed by the man she once loved. She confronts Jae-jun, demanding to know whether he ever truly cared for her or if she was just a race, and how he plans on ensuring that the president will forever after the election. He is surprised when the president opens his eyes. However, instead of arresting the prime minister, the president strikes a deal with him to the displeasure of Park and still saved him. Fast forward, just as they prepare to flee, they are ambushed by North Korean agents. A gunshot rings out. Sung-hee gasps, clutching her side as blood stains her clothes. Hoon holds her hands